Then you better not use my trademark.
Four, three, two,
Please do it.
1, 0. Hello, everybody who cares enough to care. This is Vorosh
Ah,
alongside Dejavu and Soulseeker, bringing you another awesome triple StarCraft commentary. We are all now front page commentators of SC2GG. I'm welcoming Soul to the staff and welcoming, myself and the other two co-commentators along with me to the front page. If you like clicked on this and you're like, I'll give this a try. We're still probably not as good as everyone else on the front page, but we're gonna do our best. We're gonna try to bring you as high quality games as possible. This game is from World Cyber Games, Jaedong versus Advocate, and just going into this match, based on past performances against mutual players that they've played, Jaedong probably has a heavy advantage. He's considered to be one of the best, if not the best players in the game, and Advocate is probably in like the top 5% of the top foreigner scene. So it's probably not a very close one going into this match. But it looks like, oh, Jaedong's sending out the 9 scout, and I'll just pass it off to fellow front page commentator Dejavu.
Yeah, I mean, this game has potential to be pretty good. I mean, Ghosted Gamers, I think, gave it something like an 8.7, which is pretty ridiculous. That's a pretty high score. And I don't think Advocate's ever gone to Korea to be a pro at all. And there's just such a huge gap between foreigner and Koreans. Yeah, it's closed a bit recently, and the Chinese in particular have gotten pretty damn good recently. But still, that gap still exists, and it's still pretty significant. So I mean, you still got to favor Jaedong is a big favorite in this, maybe like 10 to 1 or something like that if you were making odds, something ridiculous like that. It's really the only way to make it fair. And Advocate is going to the south, going to try and get a scout off, going to see the drone for Jaedong. He's going to follow it, and I think he actually thinks that this might be the 12th drone for Jaedong, and that this might actually be a 12th hatch, and he's going to try and delay it. Unfortunately, this is not the 12th drone for Jaedong. Jaedong is pretty much just wasting Advocate's time, and Advocate is, yeah, he's going to sit here and attack this drone, delay the quote-unquote second hatchery that Jaedong is faking to put up, and Jaedong's just going to successfully waste a lot of time for Advocate. Advocate's not going to get the scout on. This is going to give Jaedong time to get his pool up. If he wants to throw down a third hatch in his base, he can. He can get out some lings, maybe completely stop the scout. This is going to be played right into Jaedong's hands. Jaedong has a huge advantage right now just by wasting, I don't, probably close to a minute at this point of Advocate's scouting time. I don't think Advocate's going to get any sort of useful scout now at all.
alright, yeah, that's horrible for Advocate. He's putting down his engineering bay right now. He's gonna continue to block the imaginary hatchery that's never gonna come. Gonna go down and see air, but I'm looking at Advocate's base right now, and as you were talking about the drone scout, Advocate does not scout any creeps, so he's gonna turn back. But Advocate did get the early gas, so he's going for the mech build. Curious to see if he goes one factory into the expansionistic type style, or two factory aggressive vultures, or whatever he wants to do. And Jaedong is going for a two-hatch lair. So two-hatch muta or two-hatch lurker. Lurker is not going to be the best in this situation, just because mech have so much hit points that the lurkers don't end up being cost efficient. And Jaedong, where are your Zerglings? There they are. They're going to be able to block this SCV, and Advocate is going to have no scouting information, and that's just going to be icky position for him because he's not going to be able to. Okay, interrupting myself, but Hydralisk then going down for Jaedong. So Jaedong is going for lurkers. He needs a suicide the Overlord or get a Zergling in there or something to know that there's a mech build coming, or he could be in a bit of trouble here.
Wow, I'm surprised to see him going for 2-hatch lurker. I expected him to go for a Mutalisk, considering just how superior his Mutalisk micro is to what Advocate is probably used to dealing with. Looks like Advocate is going for 2 factories. And he's probably going to try to do like the standard vulture run but by that time Jaedong will probably have Hydralis out there. He got in with a Zergling and sees this mech build, so he's probably going to go for like these quick Hydras instead of lurkers, and then from there he's already got a Spire going up, transfer into Mutalisks, and I think he's going to have great success with that. He won't even need to waste the one drone on getting on getting a sunken colony in his front. He won't have to block his door. All he'll need is a couple of Hydras, and because he just happened to go for that so early, he'll be in great position to shut down this mech build. The first Vulture is out, and still Advocate completely failed in the entire scouting endeavor, so he has no idea what he's up against. He's just sending this Vulture out with the full knowledge that Jaedong has every bit of scouting that he wants, and Advocate has nothing, and he's just praying that somehow he got lucky enough to be in a good position. But it looks like there's already 4 Hydras at the door waiting for this Vulture, and and they're even forming sort of a wall, so it's not going to get in. Yeah, it just sees those Hydras and starts to run. And from here, Advocate's going to try to expand, and he's going to place down an armory in preparation for the Mutas, which he's, I don't know, probably assuming are gonna push out. But the question is, will he have enough Goliaths up in time? He's got no engineering bay that I've seen, so he's not going to have any turrets. So he's going to need a lot of Goliaths to deal with the Mutas that are going to be coming in a little while.
So not to counteract you or anything, but just to I guess you must have missed it or something. Advocate actually got a SCV into Jaedong's base and saw all of the tech. So he saw the Hydralisk, he saw the Hydra stand, and he also saw the Spire. So he has this timing worked out because he actually did get a scout in there kind of late. Just might have missed it moving across the map. But yeah, he did. That's why he's going for the armory. He knew that that was there. The surprising part to me of what he's done so far is the fact that he's produced so many Vultures, and these are, I mean, they'll be able to throw down mines. I think he just finished upgrading those mines, so he'll be able to throw down 9 mines and lay kind of a trap for Jaedong. And I don't think Jaedong's gone for Overlord speed, so it's going to be a little while until he can see this. Actually, oh, okay, there he goes. Okay, for a second there I thought he like cheated or something and like could somehow see these mines, but yeah, the Overlord coming in from the south, allowing him to clear away this minefield. So Advocate going for the 3 Vultures instead of, a lot of times you'll see just a single Vulture coming out and get speed upgrade, try and get a run by and do some damage that way. But Advocate going for the 3 Vultures, which is kind of a heavy investment in my opinion here early on, as he switches to Goliath. Now it's going to be important that he still gets up turrets. He is getting a couple turrets up here and there, but on Tau Cross, it's extremely important that the Terran player defends behind the mineral line of his natural expansion. That cliff can be absolutely abused, and if people were following Vorosh and Star Cup, I believe it was the Star Cup finals on this map, Solom just absolutely took down Preddy on this map. And I mean, obviously they're not pro gamers, they're not even like, you know, foreigner big for, well, I mean, Avi's pretty big for foreigner play, but like, it's pretty impressive just what he did, and that is definitely is a possibility in the future here. And Jaedong is going for a little bit of a push here on the front, not going to have too much success. I think he's just going to have to be forced to back off due to all these Goliaths being here. But yeah, I think that's definitely was a scouting advantage for Advocate, even though it was late, just because he got to see it all. He was able to prepare for the Mutalisks that he thought were coming.